Hey guys, here's a long overdue update on my Blackwork sampler. I stitched this for about a week straight while my dad was in the hospital and I got a lot done. So let's get up close and I'll show you. So when we had left off, I had shown you block 1, block 2, and block 3. Block 4 is this series of motifs across the center here, which I think are really pretty. So let's get a closer look at each of them. Here are the first two. This one with gold here and this one with silver. I think these little motifs are so pretty. There's something about the patterns that make them stand out so nicely against all the rest of the background. Maybe it's because they're not so crowded in like the rest of the repeated patterns. Rather, they're just one freestanding pattern. So this is the first big one. This is my mom's favorite. And it is really beautiful. Let's get right in there. So there's quite a bit of detail work and some copper metallic thread. I haven't had much trouble with the fractional stitches. You can see that I'm working this on 18 count Aida, and so far it hasn't been giving me much trouble. I've just been using a really sharp needle and it's been going pretty well. So this one in the middle here, another small one. This is the first one in the pattern to mix metallics. So there's gold around the outside and then silver right in the middle. And then another big motif. This one is all gold. And I really like these big motifs. I just think they are so striking. So there's a little closer look at the detail, the pattern, and the gold. And then two smaller ones on the side here. This one has kind of a feathery look with some silver metallic, and this one has the copper metallic. I think the ones I like the most from that middle row, I really like this one and the feather, and this one especially I think is so beautiful. And as far as I can tell, this kind of pattern will continue throughout the project, so there'll be a full kind of row of solid Blackwork patterning, and then it'll be broken up with a row of just motifs. So that was block 4, that kind of line across. Block 5 is technically just these 4 shapes. That's a little bit of block 6. So we'll start up here. This is, I think, my very favorite one that I've stitched so far. It just looks like some kind of beautiful Art Deco wallpaper that would be in like a bathroom somewhere. I think it's so gorgeous. So it's these black kind of flower designs with the copper metallic and then 3 little beads. Love that, my absolute favorite. This next one, I think this is the very first one to not have any metallic at all. This is just solid black. It looks kind of like barbed wire to me now, actually. I didn't see that when I was stitching it, but, but I see it now. So that one's just all black. And this one down here has a little bit of silver in it. You can see the downside of doing this on 18 count Aida as opposed to, I think it was 14 that it was charted for, was you do lose a little bit of the detail. So this thing, for instance, you can see the square and the triangle inside. Most of the other ones, though, just end up looking like a big thick line, which I don't necessarily mind, but if you're thinking of doing this sampler, just be forewarned that I'm using the Pearl Cotton, number 12 Pearl Cotton in black for the entire thing, so I didn't use 2 strands around the outline and 1 strand for the pattern. I used black Pearl Cotton number 12 for everything and 18 count Aida, so you are going to lose a little bit of the finer points of the pattern, but I still think it looks really nice. And this last one with the copper metallic. The copper metallic is, I think, my favorite. Something about the copper and the black looks so pretty together. And actually, there's already been a little bit of, she's introduced a red color, a garnet metallic. I've just been doing all of that in copper because I like it so much. So I'm just going to stick with silver, copper, and gold metallics. And then this is a little sneak peek at block 6. These little motifs are so fun to stitch. They're just so tiny and they always look so beautiful and they're pretty quick. So I'll stand up here and once again give you the full look at what I've done so far. I've been stitching these kind of frames as I go. So once I was finished this block, I stitched all of the frames for the next kind of section, and then I'll go in and fill in the next blocks. It just helps me make sure that my counting is straight and everything is right. So there you are. Thank you for all your lovely comments about this project. Once again, links will be down below where you can download this pattern for completely free. And stay tuned, I have a little update on Doriane. Hey guys, so I wanted to show you where I'm at right now on Doriane before I start this challenge this week to stitch on it. So I've been working on the arm here, that's the shoulder. So I want to finish out her arm, like her hand and her fingers here, at least over to this edge. And then I think I'm probably going to go back and work on her boa. So this is where I'm at right now. And I will see you guys in a week with some progress. Alright guys, thanks for staying with me. This is the update on Doriane. The footage you just saw was filmed a week ago. This is the progress I've made during that week when I only stitched on Doriane. So let me get a little closer here. Sorry for the motion sickness. So originally I had, this is her arm here. She has a boa around her neck that I haven't worked yet. So this is her shoulder. I had originally had, I think, somewhere around here of the arm done, and I was hoping to work the hand to this side and then come back and do the boa. Didn't quite make it to the boa, you'll see. But here's what I got done. So this is her hand. These little bumps along the top will be part of her pearl chain. You can see it hanging down here. So all of these will have corresponding strings of pearls coming down off her arm. Oh, you can see I left some stitches there that I didn't finish. Whoops. I'm really happy that my kind of passion for this project has been reignited. I hadn't worked on it pretty much at all once I started my Mirabilia, the Mermaid of Atlantis. I just put this by the wayside. I think because it's stitched on Ada, it's just classic cross stitch, and once I discovered that you could do beading and metallics and even weave and all this fun stuff, I kind of got away from it. This seemed not too simple because it is a pretty complex pattern. There's quite a bit of confetti in it, but it just seemed kind of boring. And I didn't want to let it go, though I put so much work into it, and I didn't want to pack it away. I was afraid that if I packed it away, I would never finish it. And that is not like me. That's not in my nature. So I thought once the weekly challenge came up on the Cross Stitch and Discuss #2 Facebook page, I said, I'm going to do Doriane, and this will be the week where I decide if I still want to stitch it or not. And the good news is that I really, really do. So this is the progress I've made on Doriane. I think I'll probably stitch a little bit more on her this week and then go back to my Canada sampler. Yeah, so I am so happy to be stitching this again. I'm happy that I am still interested in it. There is quite a bit to go. This is the halfway point here, so I think what I'll do is finish her arm. Probably I'll finish off this little bit, and then I'll do kind of the rest of her arm, and then I'll go in and work on the boa. I don't want to get too ahead of myself on the pattern. I don't want to get too far down on one side. But the boa is kind of intimidating because it's got a million colors, and you know, it's just not as easy as all these like fleshy bits. And this may be a weird stitching thing, maybe you guys can relate, is I'm kind of into doing like the arm and her back because I am used to these colors and I know the symbols off by heart, so I don't have to look at them as much. Like I can say like, oh, that's this thread automatically. Once I get into the oranges and yellows and stuff of this boa, I feel like it's going to be much slower going. I'm going to have to cross-check every single symbol to make sure that I'm stitching the right color. But anyways, thank you guys for staying with me through this weird choppy video. I have a little bit of a stitchy haul that I hope to film this week on my day off, because I am not presentable right now when I get home from work, or at least I don't think I am. So hopefully I'll get that up later this week. I also have some makeup stuff that I bought this month. I was going to film a haul on that. I don't know if any makeup people are still hanging on in my subscribers there, but hi if you are. This has kind of become a stitching channel, but I'm still a big makeup nut, so I'm not going to totally let that go. But anyways, so that was my Blackwork sampler, and this is Doriane. I will see you guys hopefully later this week with another video. Talk to you then. Bye.